Phoenix, Arizona is our destination on your Saturday night special here on Wildcard Weekend of Season 21. We've got a rematch from Week 13, a game settled within a single score as we head back to Fatality Field in Arizona. Jacob Clear alongside Anthony Ellison to bring you the nightcap here, the second game of our wildcard weekend. Arizona could stamp their spot in a matchup against Baltimore, a matchup that so far has eluded the Scorpions. Minnesota could be on to Fort Worth to play the number one seed. Anthony, what are you looking forward to tonight in this enthralling matchup?
I'm looking for a great competitive matchup. Both teams got to realize, forget about your record in the regular season. You're both starting 0 wins and 0 losses. And this is a one-game elimination. You put everything on the line. I am looking forward to Arizona leading rusher DJ Moses II and see how the Minnesota defense can contain him today.
Arizona in a new orange look. Tonight is their 250th game as a franchise. That, of course, inclusive of the OKC Renegades era that started all the way back in Season 1. Aerial coverage of today's game, as always, is provided by Dags Droneworks, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. The visitors to receive the opening kickoff at the front of the end zone. Returned up to the 25. And that's where we will see this Minnesota offense coming out for the first time today. It's a shock, I think, even still to this day, that they have made postseason football. They started 3-1 after a massive convention win in week 1 and then went on a 7-game losing streak, but turned their fortunes around at the last minute to make the playoffs. And they now start in a nice spread. Reno across the middle. That's a good throw. Brilliant start by Minnesota. Finds Jay Taylor for a gain of 17 and a first.
And that's the way you want to come out. You want to come out being aggressive. And that's exactly what they did right there. Recognizing man coverage and just beat his man inside on a nice little in route right behind the safety. Great throw by Reno. And that's exactly the start you want from Minnesota.
Head coach Axel Raven indicated that the balanced approach is set to continue. That was so successful against Tulsa last week. They're going to go to the ground here with Colin Hart, and he will pick up 5. Started the season like an absolute revelation, but then seems like this offense ran out of ideas, but he's going to be so important tonight, Anthony.
And you're going to need everyone to step it up really big. It's going to be very important, especially I'm looking at the interior line of both sides.
Another handoff for Hart, same direction. That's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. J.R. Lawless gets in on the tackle. The Arizona front 7 is so full of talent. And they'll bring a 3-man front here to counter this 4-wide set. Tons of coverage on that right side of the Arizona defense. Reno will drop back, looks for the lone man on the left-hand side. It's intercepted by Iverson Gamble. And returning up the other way, in fact, I believe it's Everett Garrison, the outside corner, and a quick turnover for Minnesota. That's a poor start, actually. Parker Thomas, the slot corner.
And second interception of the season. And the fact is, he ran the route for the receiver right there, and then realizing that he has safety help over the top, so you can undercut that route and go for the ball, and that's exactly what he did, and that's just a fantastic start for Arizona right there. Big play.
Disappointing result for Minnesota. That start to the drive culminated the quick pass to Taylor, and then the run by Colin Hart was quickly stifled, and now Arizona get the ball on the midway point. I'm going to pull TJ Punk in motion. Handoff goes Moses, and that's terrific carry up the middle. In fact, Justin Williams was slotted into the backfield on that carry. Anthony, this two-headed dragon at the back, perhaps seems like Justin Williams is the worst of two halves, but he's been so efficient this season.
I mean, when you get both of your running backs averaging over 5 yards a carry, that's going to be just such a great help for your quarterback, who she's also throwing the ball fantastic.
Hand off again. This time it's Moses. Left-hand side, breaks 2 tackles and is eventually cleaned up at the back. This Arizona offense, led out by Ashley Jackson, features DJ Moses and Justin Williams in the backfield. The receivers, Donnie Hands, James Hands, Ryan Arlovsky, and TJ Punk. The tight ends, Adam Grabowski and Will Todd. We'll get to that elite offensive line in a moment. Going to move one of the Hands brothers. That's James in motion. Jackson, little toss to Moses there. Minnesota read that. It stopped at the line of scrimmage. Anthony, this offensive line that features Igor Barbatov, Sean Crooked, DJ DeQ, Patrick Kelly, and the other free agent import, Gene Benazzi, has been so important this season at the success of DJ Moses.
Yeah, and that's Minnesota's really gonna have to stop the run early and force Jackson to pass the ball.
Speaking of which, Jackson on a drop back, that's tipped away. That Minnesota had a chance at that. Good deflection. And we'll get to that Minnesota defense that's got plenty of talent in the front end of it. Mark Mello, Axel Raven, Angela Meerkat, Brookie Burr, Buster Johnson, and Max Knight all make up the line. Jason Clay, Miles Gibson, Stephen Black, and Juan Mississippi are the linebackers. Black with the deflection on the previous play. And in motion is TJ Punk. Jackson drops back with pressure. She's going to roll around. Eventually decides to take it on her own. And we'll pick up a couple. That's a 4th down stop for Minnesota.
And a good job with the containment. They had a quarterback spy on her in the pocket right there. They recognized it's a 3rd and 10. They got to pass the ball. That's what Minnesota's going to want to do. Have them do 3rd and long, knowing that you can pass it so you can play more people in coverage and force them to pass the ball right there. Stop the run early in the downs to set up a passing down that you know you can defend. Jarius
James, the Week 7 signing, pins that one inside the 10, or just outside the 10, I should say. Good punt by the rookie. And Minnesota will now have to claw it out deep in their own territory. See, they've lined Jay Hayden up in the backfield in front of Hart. That's something that they've done for most of this season. Left hand side, Hart's blown up, but he keeps it going. Colin Hart, that was impressive. Did well. Arizona sent a ton of pressure. Eventually, Everett Garrison finishes him up for a gain of 1.
And we're seeing why Hart has 23 touchdowns for the season. It's breaking those tackles, getting those extra yardage, because every yard is going to count right there. Arizona needs to wrap up at the first initial contact. It's going to be very important.
Reno will pass on a 2nd down. Rolls out in the pocket. That's deep, incomplete. He was looking for Jason France, the elite tight end, and it's deflected away by Iverson Gamble. The rest of that Arizona defense features D.D. Sarks, Alex Constantine, Hunter Norwood, and David Tilley on the line. The linebackers, Sean Moore, J.R. Lawless, and Nathaniel Diggs. The outside backs, Zachary Hamburger, Ricky Robertson, Parker Thomas, Everett Garrison, and Gamble and Eddie Gage are the safeties. Reno on a 3rd down. Looks across the middle. That's caught for a first. Gets right back to it. Same target. It's Jay Taylor for the 2nd time today.
And that right there is just facing up to the defender, cutting in front of him, and Taylor knew where the 1st down marker was, which was very important, and just was able to give a clear target for Reno to make that pass. Big 1st down. But most importantly, it keeps Arizona offense on that bench, and that's exactly what you want.
Jay Taylor's third season with the legend, 8th in the league, 6'5", 230, massive target for Reno. That pass across the middle is incomplete, falls away. There's Zach Hamburger in on the deflection.
And that's great defense right there. Right when the ball got there, Hamburger was able to get an arm over there and knock the ball loose. Great defensive play.
Speaking of Zach Hamburger, he's in the stats truck with us tonight alongside Ron Haynes. We appreciate those gentlemen with us tonight. Reno's going to drop back pressure. Got there. Caught by Jason France. That was some play by Reno. And picks up a really good gain.
And let's talk about how that throw was made. It was the protection pickup, it looks like, by the right guard of Minnesota that gave enough time for Reno to throw that strike over the middle to the tight end, Jason France right there. Almost an interception, but that's the way to fit it right there in the pocket, and great job with the protection.
Iverson Gamble was very close to getting a clean play of that ball. Could not have placed that much better. Spread look for Reno. Colin Hart will run a route. It'll go that way. And he will pick up a first. That's clean and then some. No one really went near him for a considerable amount of time. And he swallows up the yardage.
And I love it. Read the field. You know your first option down the field is not available, but you realize that they're blitzing on the side that you have your running back swinging out to the right. To check it down right there gives you big yardage, but most importantly, it keeps Arizona, like, you got to watch out for that. Keeps them honest.
Quarterback Johnny Reno starting to find some traction here on this Arizona defense. Hart will angle to the right, and again, it's read very well. That's J.R. Lawless again. This Arizona front seven has been very good against the run. They are first in the league in average yards per carry allowed at 3.9. Lawless already with 2 tackles, mitigating the damage of Hart. Hart's going to get another reception, and that seems to be the formula for success. This one not a first down, but another nice little gain to the right.
Yeah, if you're going to play that cover 4, that cover 3 defense that has both of your corners going back, your underneath routes are going to be wide open, and that running back is wide open underneath. Arizona needs to put a body on that running back.
Heavy look for Minnesota. Hart will get the carry up the middle. He's jammed up and dropped. Arizona gets the pressure home. Nathaniel Diggs coming through and making the stop.
What a way to shoot the gap right there on 3rd inches right there and stop it before Hart can get anything moving. That's a big play for Arizona, especially because Minnesota was moving the ball pretty well.
Mickey Malillo's field goal attempt off to the left is up and good, and Minnesota will claim the first points of the ball game. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your play today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Malillo will kick it off. Returned by Donnie Hands, I should say, to the 25. Anthony, what do you expect here from Arizona's offense on this next drive?
I expect a little bit more balance. You have the #1 leading rusher on your team. Got to get DJ Moses going. And that's going to help Ashley Jackson. High percentage completion for her, 5th in the league. 2nd in touchdowns with 22, but that's because it's set up by a good running game. She doesn't have to pass the ball deep. So you don't want to get into long 3rd down situations. Start running the ball a little bit more up front.
Right on cue, go to the middle, and DJ Moses only picks up 2. That's a good stop by Miles Gibson. Such an impressive season from him. He's in the Defensive Player of the Year shortlisting. The Legend defense finishes off with Nicholas Frossel, Rick Evans, Cody Griffin, and Johnny Bravo. The corners, the safeties, Daniel Wright and Derek Meerkat at the back. Jackson will throw out of the Joker set, looks for TJ Punk, and it's caught for a 15-yard gain and a first.
And this is exactly what you want. You want to run the ball, get you a second and short. So now you have an option if you want to pass it or run it. So the defense has to be honest. Right there, they're watching the backfield, and that was an easy, nice little skinny post behind that defender for a first down.
Eddie Gage noted that Will Todd has been the leading receiver in this Arizona system, trying to get some of the other pieces on the outside involved. That's Punk's first reception of the game. Moses goes back to the ground. That's a good gain of about 6, and that's about what you expected in this drive so far.
And if you look up front, that's just a nice little halfback gut between the right guard and the center. The biggest thing is you got to kick out that defensive lineman, and then Moses can go in there, not touch until he gets to the second level, and that's really good blocking right there.
Moses again, first down, and then some, pushes a man over. He's got one man to beat, and eventually is nudged out to the sideline. Justin Williams with another big carry, injury on the play. Get your analysis on that. Oh, I think that's Derek Meerkat. That could be crucial. They don't have another safety on the depth chart here in Minnesota. In fact, Daniel Wright, the free safety, I knew it was one of the safeties. That could be a huge injury, Anthony.
That could be really huge. Hopefully, Meerkat is okay and he can get back into the ballgame because they definitely need him to stop the run.
He was the one that Williams stiff-armed. I think he killed him. We'll have to check on him in a short time. Moses this time on the ground, and Minnesota plugs the middle. That's Angela Meerkat with the plug.
And what it's going to be is going to be the next person stepping up right there. And this is a team effort to stop the run. It's going to start right up there in front with the defensive line, getting some good penetration to stop Moses before Moses gets going.
A rushing look and an ace here for the Scorpions. Man in motion is Punk, who's already got one completion on this drive. Jackson will roll out and will take it down herself for the second time today. And Ashley Jackson gets pummeled at the line to gain. Boy, one of the legend defenders lined her up big time. Eddie Gage is probably going to be yelling at her. You got to slide there.
Yeah, you got to. I love and hate it. I love that saw the opening. I hate that she didn't slide. Got to slide. Protect yourself.
Jackson goes back to the ground. This is, I believe, Williams again on the ground, and that's a first down. This Arizona rushing offense, the Red Sea starting to part, and this is the offense we've come to expect from Arizona this season.
And those quick hits right there, they're so good because all the lineman has to do is just a one-step and attack, and you just want to shield off the defender so the running back can do the rest of the work.
Moses on the ground is dumped at the line of scrimmage. Minnesota have had some really good stops defensively against the run. That was the backup free safety that's come in for Daniel Wright, so it'll be interesting to see his involvement in the next few plays. Here on second down, Twins to Jackson's left, rolls out that way. One of the Minnesota linemen tipped over, and that's tipped away in the end zone. That was risky.
Yeah, and that was great coverage right there. Looks like it was number 54, Jason Clay, the inside linebacker, looking for the first interception of the season. But great job eyeing the quarterback, seeing where she was going to throw. Almost came up with an interception. And right here, this is a big third down for Arizona.
We get 10 and an extra 2 or 3 for the score. Jackson with 5 wide. Minnesota will rush 4. That's... Oh, he had 2 shots at it. And it falls away. Boy, oh boy. Nicholas Frossel will want that one back.
And Jackson should be saying thank you because that could have been a touchdown going the other way. Right now they're setting up the kicker who is perfect from the field this season. with a chance to tie the game.
Field goal from J2 Jelani is up and good. And we're tied at the end, towards the end of the first, I should say. Talk about the injury to Daniel Wright in the chat alongside our game. It's worth noting that Minnesota took the gamble this season to only run out with one player at each safety position. When one goes down, there's no next man up in that situation, and that's the situation we're in right now.
And
kickoff from Jelani is returned. I'll let you come back in a second. As that's taken up to the 25, we basically get the same spot every kickoff. Go ahead.
And it looks like in the all season, you want to look like depth is really important. So maybe you draft an extra defensive back that can play safety, play the slot corner when you need to. So it's really important to have that depth in the team on the field.
End of the first. It's a defensive battle here in the desert, tied up at 3 apiece. Back here in Fatality Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Minnesota with their third possession of the game. Reno drops back. That's incomplete. It beat everyone. Jason Francis' second target falls away incomplete.
And going into this drive, Minnesota, just think about add on to what you did last drive. You had some great success passing it to the running back over there. You got to make sure you mix in a little bit of run and catch Arizona off guard.
Reno will drop back again, uses hard as a receiver. This one's read perfectly by Arizona's defense. Picks up only a gain of 1. Shifting across there, I believe, was David Tilley, the inside tackle. Here on third down, 3 wide to Reno's left. Drop back, Arizona sends pressure, looks over the back, there was a shot at that. It was just a touch overthrown for Vin Callier, and Minnesota will be forced to punt.
Yeah, just that little pressure made the overthrow pass right there. If that was on line, that receiver is in stride, could have been a big game.
Arizona will get back possession. Here, this potent rushing attack has so far been not necessarily as good as it. Well, here we go. Riley Narlovsky pushing to the outside. Don't speak too soon. And Arizona is going to start with very good field position. The first round pick getting involved in the special teams and gets a good return.
Yeah, I think they heard you about the return, and right there, that was great breaking tackles, great blocking by the team right there, and setting up a good field position for Arizona.
So I think that was Nathaniel Diggs in there on special teams, getting a block to set him on the outside, and that gives Arizona some nice field position, just on the fringe of the halfway stripe. Split backfield. Handoff will go to Moses, and he will pick up 2. Minnesota's front 7 is very well set up for DJ Moses tonight.
Yeah, they are containing Moses before he can break off right there, and that's what you're going to need to do so you can set up a longer passing situation for Arizona.
Jackson will spread her receivers out here. Handoff again to Moses, trying to get him more room. Boy, what a tackle! Right-hand side, Miles Gibson just plowed straight into that Arizona offensive line and gets a great tackle. They still gave Moses a couple of yards, but that was some effort.
Phenomenal way to shoot the gap right there before anything can happen. Those are big plays that Minnesota is going to need, setting up a long third down.
Jackson drops back, trying to roll into space. Oh, incomplete. It looked like that was almost squeezed into a perfect area. by the veteran, but falls away incomplete. Minnesota's defense gets a good stop.
And that's what you want. You want to set up a third down situation that you know is going to be passed and force Jackson to beat you with her arm, throwing it deeper than what, sometimes she would like to throw.
Punt again, second punt of the game for Arizona. This field position's a little more comfortable for the legend, Queg Mam, on return duties for Minnesota. And worth noting, Anthony, last time Arizona punted, Minnesota took it on a scoring drive and kicked a field goal. How can they turn that field goal drive into 6 points here?
It's being patient. You gotta you have to read what the defense is giving you. In the first drive, when they got the points, they recognized that Arizona was in a deeper coverage and they passed it off underneath. You want to make sure you have a good balance here and run the ball effectively as much as you can this drive.
They can angle Mam in motion to the right. Handoff Hart, left-hand side's got a little room and will pick up 3. The success so far has been more if they have run some more designed passing routes for Colin Hart more than rushing him on the ground. Here on 2nd and 7. Hart will get the carry up the middle. This time he's got more room. Lawless missed him. And he's eventually cleared up by Tilly, who had to rush back and prevent him from breaking that off big time. That's a much better run from Colin Hart.
And great job by the center, recognizing the blitz was coming off the left side right there. Shift the lineman over to the left. And all Hart had to do was break one tackle, and that secondary was wide open for a big run right there. That's a big first down for Minnesota, running the ball.
Legend starting to move the ball here. That run good for 10. Handoff, Jay Hayden gets a designed run, and that's going to pick up nothing. But interesting. In fact, that's Jason France that they've pushed into the fullback position. Interesting choice of personnel there, Anthony.
Yeah, it looks like they put France in the up back position, seemed to try to catch Arizona off guard with a quick fullback dive right there, and they were ready for it.
He's 6'7", 270. That might be the biggest rusher I've ever seen. And Colin Hart, that time picks up a couple, but again, gee, I tell you, Nathaniel Diggs has had a very good start to this game.
And you're seeing the chess match on both sides right there. They know each side like to run the ball, so they're going to put more bodies in the box right there, forcing these long third down situations that's in the defensive favor.
Quads look with Hart on the left. Arizona rushes 4. Oh, man, got around. What a play. What? Wow, D.D. Sachs gets home. That was some effort. He spun off the outside tackle and gets the sack.
And what Reno has to do is the pocket sense. You want to climb up on the pocket and not back right there, because those rushers are coming from the outside, and the tackle's responsibility is to push them out. And then Reno just needed to step up. If you step up, you have more time to make that throw.
D.D. Sachs has had 8 seasons with this team, has been so important, anchoring the trenches for Arizona. That is a huge play and gives Ryan Arlovsky and the Arizona Scorpions unit field position here, starting at the 30. Liking the game so far, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events per year. There is no one else that gives you that much football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Arizona here in a split twins look, and Moses will get the first carry, and again Minnesota's front 7 is locked onto him. Good tackle assisted by Miles Gibson. One Mississippi involved as well. Same formation for the Scorpions. Gonna move Moses, DJ Punk in motion. Jackson drops back. There's pressure. She's going to try and evade it, and again takes a big hit. This time gains nothing. Boy, oh boy, Ashley Jackson is willing to take some contact here on the rush.
And what Minnesota is doing is putting a spy on her. Saw that first drive when she got that big run right there. I was like, they're like, okay, we're gonna put a quarterback spy on her and watch her every move right there, and that's a big play.
It's a big stat at Jackson, 1 for 5 so far in this game. She was so efficient last week against Las Vegas. This Minnesota defense has shown up tonight. Big third down here. Man in motion was James Hands. Jackson will roll out to her left. Pass across the middle finds James Hands, and that will pick up a first. That was a much needed completion for Ashley Jackson.
Very cool, calm, and collected for Jackson on there. Nice little rollout to give yourself some time. Great job by the line to block. And what she just did was just throw it right over the defender that was been playing really well right there. That's a good first down. That's what you need to keep the momentum going for Arizona.
Yes, that stat is correct, Mike Day. She was 1 from 5, now obviously 2 from 6, but these two teams have been struggling to maintain possessions. Both defenses have locked on so far tonight. Jackson drops back, looking across the back. That's caught again by James Hands, and that's two good passes strung together by Jackson. She's starting to heat up.
Back-to-back passes to James right there. This one was an even tougher catch right here because you know that you're going to take a hit, but what she did was she threw the ball right in the breadbasket right there, and great job by Hands getting ready to embrace the hit from the safety.
James Hands historically considered the lesser of two halves with brother Donnie, but both elite talents in the Arizona receiving core at the 2 and 3 spot respectively. Moses up the middle, and again his Minnesota rush defenses says no thank you. Miles Gibson with the stop.
And overall this game so far, the linebackers for Minnesota, Clay Gibson, have came to play, and they're taking on this playoff vibe that's going on.
Jackson drops back. That's a good look across the middle. Incomplete. Looked like James Hands had a good couple of hands on it, but unable to reel that in. Matthew Sullivan, welcome to the chat. Cheering for both teams. Well, both teams have started to play some really good defensive football. That's indicative perhaps of the matchup we expected, Anthony. Big third down coming up here with Jackson in a spread 5 wide. Minnesota playing off in a 3-2 dime. They get a motion. James Hands here. He's been the star of the drive so far. Jackson, that's going that way. It's caught by Donnie. This time for a first down. Big gain downfield.
And right there, they went to the trip side of the field with the more receivers. And you could tell that they had a great relationship. Jackson trusts that they was going to catch the ball, and that's exactly what that's a big play. And Traffic, once again, was able to secure the ball, tuck it in before the hit came.
Ball at a gain of 24. Ashley Jackson had only completed 1 pass prior to this drive. She's now strung 3 really good completions together to both the Hands brothers. Jackson drops back again. Short throw caught by Moses. That gains 6.
And what the adjustment that Arizona is making, they're realizing that Minnesota is watching the run, and they're also having a quarterback spy on Jackson. So what they're going to do, they're going to dial up some more passes that's going to loosen up that defense from Minnesota so they can run the ball.
Knocking on the door here, as mentioned. Trying to go back to the run here, and again Minnesota is straight up in their face. Moses again stopped at the line of scrimmage. Jason Clay with another stop.
And there it is again. Clay and Bird, they are ready to, Clay and Gibson, they're ready to stop the run right here. Look for a rollout pass for Jackson. Try to get yourself a little bit more time for this first down. She
will roll out, not by design. Oh, she's going to take a sack. What a chase down by one of the Minnesota defenders. She tried to get some space on the edge. But boy, oh boy, that was a good rundown. Claimed, I believe, by Buster Johnson, the inside tackle. Got free and gets the sack.
Yeah, and that was a stunt to the outside on the quarterback containment, and good job by Johnson chasing down the agile Johnson right there for the sack.
2-minute warning. JT Julani coming out here to net the third field goal of the opening half. And Arizona will claim the lead here with that field goal make 6 points to 3. Anthony, what Minnesota have got 2 minutes left here to drive down the field. What do you expect them to try and open up here to potentially mount a score before the half's out?
You got to look a little bit more down the field here, but recognize that you don't want Arizona to get a timely turnover. But what you're going to do is look for more passing for Hart than running right there. Maybe take a shot down the field that's safe, throw it out of bounds, like towards the out of bounds line that only your receiver can catch it. But there's a lot of time. You have your timeouts here. Just want to play the safe ball, but definitely look to stretch the ball down the field.
Craig Mann with another good return. Fires up to the 30. And we'll see here plenty of time for the legend to try and break down this Arizona defense. So far, they only really had one successful drive that resulted in a Mickey Malillo field goal. Can they repeat those efforts here? Pro set. Hart will get the first carry. Bit of space for Colin Hart to run into. That's a first and then some. He's off and racing. Almost away. Eventually tackled from behind. What a save by, I believe, Everett Garrison getting back there to make the stop.
Oh, what a touchdown saving tackle right there. Coming from the linebacker spot right there. That's number 64.
No, that's one of the tackles. David Tilley, the defensive tackle, went all the way back to make the play. Wow. What a chase.
Oh, that was a touchdown saving tackle. That's big right there. Never give up.
He had no right to be in that position. What a save from David Tilley. Reno drops back. They're in motion here and outside. That's caught for a first down. Pickup of 11 by Van Callier. His first catch of the game.
Yeah.
Stops the clock.
And two things right there. One, it was Alex Costing that was able to save that touchdown. But right there, after the big run, they threw the ball to the outside so you can save your time. You can stop the clock right there. But this has been a fantastic drive so far for Minnesota.
Yeah, you're right. Arizona got too many fours on that defensive line. Hunter Norwood, 74. David Tilley, 94. Constantine, 64. That pass is caught on the outside by Jason France again from that fullback spot. And in fact, Jay Taylor on the out route is the receptor, and it picks up nothing.
I love it. Jason France has been catching. It has been blocking that set up that big run this half. It's been all over the place in this drive.
Single back again is Hart. Taylor will move in motion to the left. Reno might try something a little more aggressive here. He's back. Oh, that was definitely aggressive because it went straight to Jason France, who had coverage draped all over him. Still managed to reel it in for a gain of 5.
Now, you know that you're already in the kicker's range to kick a field goal. You want to be safe right there. That's got to be careful. Throw the ball outside the numbers so you can be able to stop the clock. You do have a couple more timeouts.
Move. The receiver in motion. Reno drops back. Looks that way. Oh, what a grab. Up in contested coverage, Deezer Powell with his first catch of the game.
What a catch for your first catch of the game right there on a very important drive. Could you want to go in with some type of points knowing that Arizona's going to get the ball back in the second half, to start the second half?
Out below and back, two tight ends, Hayden and France. Hayden yet to have a target. Reno, end zone, there's a flag down. Don't think it was on the coverage, Anthony. In fact, it was. I spoke too soon. Everett Garrison, a little too physical.
And when we take a look,
just seemed like that was thrown before the play actually got to that area of the field where Callier was, but maybe that was where the foul was spotted before the pass was actually thrown.
Yeah, it was a lot of like touching. I'm not sure that was a pass interference, but definitely you got to let the receiver have the chance to catch that ball before you make contact.
Only 50 seconds taken off the drive here, off the clock here with this drive. Minnesota on the goal line. Reno will throw. Short pass. Oh, that was very risky. He was looking for Callier, who ran a little cross route. But surely you thought they were going to run out of that Joker's look.
Yeah, and that's a big like tip at the line of scrimmage by number 92 for Arizona right there. But you can run the ball here. You have enough time to run twice to get to the end zone.
Single back is Hart. Reno will pass again. Short pass finds Hart. He's stopped. They went to the air, and Parker Thomas gets a touchdown saving tackle. He's had two big plays so far this half. End zone, that's incomplete. That's a disappointing end for Minnesota. Great drive, but Deezer Powell unable to find that one.
I have questions here. And the thing is, you have a running back that's third in the league with 23 touchdowns, loves the contact at the red zone, but didn't see it. You have to trust in what got you here, and trust that your offensive line, who just have you do a big play to start this drive, can run it in for you. That was a missed opportunity right here, but at least get points on the board.
Dusty Wilson, the lone guard on Minnesota's offensive line. Mickey Malillo will net the field goal, and once again we are tied up. Well, we were hoping for a close game, as we saw in week 13. There's less scoring in this one, but it's equally as entertaining.
Oh, I absolutely love this. Like, they both have that mindset. This is a new season right here. When you're in the playoffs, you can't think about the regular season, how many games you lost or win. Right now, it's about your opponents in front of you. And this is a great chess match. They're not letting big plays go off on either side.
Arlovsky from the goal line returns up past the 25 and no further. Spotted at 26. Anthony, if you're Arizona, do you try and get into field goal range again? You've got all your timeouts plus about 40 seconds still on that clock.
You definitely go for it. You know, you want to be careful. But you know that you getting any type of points is going to help you in the half, and then going out of the halftime knowing you're going to get the ball back here. But it definitely takes shots. You have timeout. You just be careful about throwing the ball over the middle, because that's time that you got to use your timeouts for.
Jackson started to find the Hands brothers on that last drive. It was like a nostalgia trip. Looking back at old Arizona Scorpions postseason football. Moses up the middle gets a carry. That picks up 4. Nothing too aggressive here from Arizona. They're happy to see the halftime.
If I'm Minnesota, this is a win for the first half right here, when you can contain a high-power offense like this to only 6 points.
Another run for Moses. Got to make sure he doesn't break one off, and only picks up 2. Well, I think the story from this opening half was that Minnesota and head coach Jackson Raven had to lock onto this Arizona rushing attack. And in the opening half, they have absolutely done that. And as a result, we've got a tied ball game here at the half. Anthony Ellison, 6 apiece at Fatality Field. What were your key takeaways from that opening half?
Minnesota stepping up to the challenge and containing the rushing attack for Arizona. And the linebackers doing a fantastic job stopping the run as much as they can, containing Jackson on the pass right there, having a spy, defensive containment. There's some good things to talk about in the locker room from Minnesota. There were some opportunities that they could have had. That drive at the end of the half could have gave them a bigger lead. Arizona, you gotta come out, recognize that you have the rushing attack. You can pass the ball well. You just gotta be consistent and give enough balance on offense.
Colin Hart is your first half player of the game. Interesting to note, DJ Moses on the season averages 6.5 yards per carry. In that opening half, he averaged just 2. In contrast, Justin Williams averages over 14 on his 3 carries. Back here at Fatality Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Tie ball game here on your Saturday nightcap on Wildcard Weekend. We welcome you to second half proceedings here. Tight ball game, defensive battle, all to play for in the second half. Malillo will kick this off to Arlovsky, and Arizona will get the opening possession. And that will be returned up pass. Good return. Ploughing through. In fact, that was Donnie Hands on return duties that time. We'll see. Do you think they keep going to DJ Moses given the lack of success that he had in that opening half, Anthony? Or is it more of a case of trying to get Ashton Jackson to find her passing weapons?
It's going to be important to have balance. You got to find different ways. Maybe you could pitch the ball to DJ Moses. You let him get to the outside and do his abilities to break tackles and everything. But you don't want to abandon the run because this is what got you here.
Wing set, pressure coming off that left-hand side. Moses is stuffed again for a gain of 1. Miles Gibson on the tackle. I'll tell you what, if he hadn't already stamped his name on the ballot for Defensive Player of the Year, he has done it tonight in this opening half. What a performance. This multi-talented defensive anchor that they signed from Tulsa in the offseason, he has been huge for this Minnesota defense. Jackson on second down, that's incomplete, but Johnny Bravo was a little too physical. That's going to be defensive pass interference.
Yeah, I know you want to play physical at the line, but after 5 yards, you gotta let go of the bump and run coverage and just try to play defense right there. Just got caught, hand in the cookie jar with a little bit more contact after the 5 yards.
A little too greedy there, Johnny Bravo. That was a little obvious, unfortunately, for the veteran corner in his 3rd season with the legend. Handoff. Moses is again given no room. This Minnesota front 7 has suffocated him. Gibson again on the tackle.
This has been the theme of today right here. It's just getting to the point of contact before he can break any tackles, and then it's going to rely on Jackson now if she can throw the ball to get this first down.
Jackson will throw here on second down. Pressure from behind, and as a result, it was a little errant, the throw, and deflected away. And now Arizona are going to have to play from a 3rd down.
Great timely call to send the blitz right there. It looks like the running back just missed the blocking assignment right there and got to him just in time for her to throw an errant pass right here.
Angela Meerkat got the pressure from that right edge. James Hands will move in motion. He was the hot hand at the end of that second quarter, I should say. Jackson drops back. She's going to roll out, give herself space. That throw across the back, somehow caught downfield. How on earth did Will Todd wheel that in? And DJ Punk, I should say.
That's absolutely incredible. Shout out to the offensive line to give her time to throw an absolute dime. And right there, that's just the will of wanting to catch that ball right there by TJ Punk. Just went up for it at the highest point and was able to bring it down. That is a big play for Arizona.
It's only Punk's 2nd catch of the game, now at 50 yards on the night. 5 targets for him. Donnie Hands will move in motion. Jackson to drop back again. Rolls out with time again, takes contact. Boy, oh boy, Ashley Jackson has put her body on the line that much tonight. I'm going to worry that she might be at risk of getting injured at some point if she keeps willing again. And that time Nicholas Frossel gets in and throws it to the ground.
And they put 2 spies on her on that play right there. And besides the big play from the tight end before, Minnesota's doing a fantastic job with the coverage of Jackson, throwing a spy or two, throwing containments, forcing her to throw it in the pocket.
Jackson, handoff Moses. That's a bit more than what we've been seeing, but still only a gain of 3. You can almost see the steam coming out of Eddie Gage's ears after that last play. That's probably the 4th time she's taken some heavy contact from this Minnesota defense on the rush. Frossel will actually get credited with the sack on that play, interestingly. Here we go, 3rd down and 7. Jackson to drop back. She's got a clean pocket. End zone look. Caught. Touchdown. Finds Donnie Hands, and that's a score for Arizona.
And that is what we call a absolute dime. Out of the slot right there and just got past the safety. Kept 2 feet in bounds. Only Hands was the only one that could catch the ball. That's a beautiful throw. And that's exactly what you want coming out of the halftime right there, a score.
A good drive from Ashley Jackson. That pass to find TJ Punk set them up in the red zone. And that's the opening touchdown of the ball game. Boy, did Arizona need that. As the extra point from J2 Jelani goes up and through. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at goretroid.com, search SFL, and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. The Retroid, the official console of the SFL. There's that return by Queg Mam, gets a stiff arm on the outside and then eventually thrown up and dumped by the Arizona Special Teams unit. And Minnesota now need to come out and get a score of their own to tie that scoring drive from Arizona.
Yeah, and you have the formula of what you're doing successfully. You just got to come together and make a complete missed opportunity on the last drive right there, but just recognize how you got down to the red zone and just repeat it.
Minnesota has scored on 2 of their 5 drives from that opening half. They just need to work out how to convert those field goal drives into 6-point drives. It's easier said than done. France will move in motion as the fullback. Reno with time. Short throw caught. Queg Mam's going to bust the tackle. In fact, Deezer Powell, left-hand side. Parker Thompson trying to chase him. And a massive gain for Deezer Powell. Wow, Johnny Reno just gave him as much space as he could have possibly wanted, and Arizona just gave it to him.
And you see why Diesel Powell is 8th all-time in receiving yards right there. Just the run after the catch, the knack to find the open field and not just giving up the play right there. Just keeps on extending it. Fantastic catch and run.
Johnny Reno, 150 yards off 13 from 20. It's a decent little stat line for him in the opening proceedings of this game. Reno short throw. That's incomplete. Double coverage there on the play. A little risky. Zach Hamburger will be credited with the deflection.
So Minnesota now, this is a good time to mix in a little run right here. You got a great pass the previous play before. Now let's keep them running game, keep them honest, and keeping them to not guard the pass.
Reno drops back, short throw for Hull. That will pick up 4, sets up a 3rd and more manageable. That outside route for Colin Hart has been successful when called upon today.
Big 3rd down right here. But don't forget that they're number 1 in 4th down conversions, so maybe this is a 4th down territory.
Could well be. They're not in field goal range just yet. Move Powell in motion. He's had some good moments so far in this game. Reno, short throw, Hart's got space in front of him, and he will pick up the first. That's a great play by Johnny Reno.
Such a great play right there. Recognizing once again, they're not guarding the running backs out of the flat because they're so focused on down the field. Give what the defense is gonna give you, and that's exactly what Reno did right there. Checking it down to the running back, big first down.
Colin Hart's sixth catch of the game. He's only got 23 leading into this game tonight. So a bit of a different dimension. That catch made by Callier. That was well held on to. Gives them a second and short.
And now this is where you can like mix in the run because you know you got third down right afterwards if you don't get it, but you want to keep the defense honest.
You're going to send Hart up the middle, and that will pick up a first. Good effort by Colin Hart, and plows forward, gets a few extra yards attached onto it. And interesting, not sure how many people would have tipped Colin Hart to have won the sway between the two tailbacks tonight as heavily as he has. Now up over 55 yards off 10 touches, and also has been heavily involved in the passing game as well. It's been a good night for the veteran. We'll get the handoff here again. Short yardage. They'll give him 3. And we'll keep going to the ground here, Anthony, you would think.
Yeah, and you're getting closer to the red zone. Let's see how you treat this right here. Maybe, once again, your line is blocking really well, so look for another run.
Steve Wilson's been putting in the work at the left guard spot. They're going to go that way again. Hart will plow through and will get close to the first down marker. They're going to spot him 2 yards shy. And Colin Hart's just getting it done at the moment.
Yeah, when you can have a back that can run the ball between the tackles and catch it, like it's so nice to have. It helps you out in the passing game for sure.
Twins to Reno's left. Callier's got a bit of room there to run into. They're going to run up with Hart. And, Jason France will pick up a first on the ground. Interesting play call for the second time tonight. That time it works.
You have a big target like Jason France that just wants the ball, wants to be in the action right there. Throw it to the tight end that you see there in the chat right there. But it's just the will to push forward for that first down. That's a big play.
Reno drops back, short throw. Oh no, Everett Garrison had a good chance of that. But the spin perhaps put him off his line just a touch, and it falls harmlessly incomplete. Boy, that was a risky throw.
And that was almost a drive killer right there. That could have been 6 going the other way. Catch a break right here, but that's okay, Reno. You realize that you can still get this touchdown.
This is the 11th play of this drive. Minnesota have been on the field for a while now. Hart on to the left. That's going to pick up a few, and that will mean that the shot here on third down is a little more comfortable, but no harm, no foul. If you only kick a field goal, you're still within a single score.
And that's cool, but you don't want to be trading field goals, like you said, field goals for touchdowns. Give it to your tight end right there, ready to get this touchdown.
Oh, sack! What a play! Arizona's defensive line's taken a while to heat up today, but that's a much better look. And he's stopped. What a play.
Big-time players make big-time plays. Great job calling a linebacker blitz right when they didn't expect it. To shot up the gap right there, and that's a big stop for Arizona to hold them to potentially a field goal.
Sean Moore got straight through the middle and made the play. Mickey Malillo's third field goal attempt for the day from short yardage is up and through. 13-play drive from Minnesota. The last drive from Arizona only lasted 8 plays before that 10-yard receiving touchdown caught by Donnie Hands. Malillo, he himself has accounted for all of the points scored by the legend so far in this game. That return brought up to the 28. And now Minnesota's defense needs to lock down again. A score here, Anthony, could be detrimental.
Yeah, you don't want to let it get into double possession right there. You want to stop them, contain them. You've been doing a great job with the running game here. It was just 2 big passes that caught you off guard. So Minnesota, you want to stop them.
Justin Williams in the backfield, starting to get adjusted to that personnel adjustment from Arizona. Donnie Hands moves to the left. Look at the amount of coverage that they've got on that side. Instead, they're going to rush it. Justin Williams only going to pick up 4. But I tell you what, Anthony, it seemed like there was no one up there on the left to cover the receivers that Arizona had.
And you got to recognize that. You got to check it and see if you see the mismatch right there. And once again, Minnesota is here to stop the run.
Arizona feel had to audible that in that situation. They're going to go back to a running look here. Moses left-hand side will not break the second tackle. And once again, this time Derek Meerkat in on the stop.
So Minnesota here, you recognize that you're going to probably put a spy on Jackson. This is a perfect opportunity to stop him here and get the ball back.
3rd and 5, prime opportunity for Minnesota to get a quick 3 and out. Punk will go in motion. Jackson with protection. Oh, got in his face. What a play to force that pass. Gee, that the Arizona offensive line has only let up 3 sacks this entire season. 2 of them came last week in a game where Jackson went to the air more. That's very rare that a defensive lineman even dares get close to her, let alone make contact. What a play. Now Trevius James is going to send this one away. It's caught by Mann at the 29, but credit, I think it was Max Knight, the former Arizona Scorpion, who got the hit on his former QB. And that's going to give Minnesota another shot here at a scoring drive.
That's exactly what you want to. You want to stop them now, Minnesota. Now let's do the second part of it and have a complete drive right here.
Here goes again for Colin Hart. Is going to get the first carry and will pick up 5. And that's a good start for Hart, who again has just been getting this safe yardage. Has only broken off 1 run, but 71 yards off 14 carries is great efficiency against a team that's allowing only just under 4 yards per carry defensively. Going to angle France to the left. Hart will get the carry. Great block by France. What a great play by Minnesota, and Colin Hart gobbles up the yardage.
And what, like you said right there, the block was absolutely fantastic by France right there, but the whole offensive line was able to contain the block. I love how Hart bounced it outside right there, but great job by France and that whole offensive line to give the hole that Hart needed to get that first down.
On the 45 left in the 3rd, but Minnesota's starting to get the momentum in their sails. Trying to drain as much of this clock away as they can. They're going to move Deezer Powell in motion to the left. Reno will pass, short throw, oh, just overthrown. Put a little bit too much pepper on it for Vin Callier.
And even though that's an incomplete pass, that's showing the balance that Arizona has to honor the pass right here, even though they want to add more to the box to stop the run. But you want to have a good balance here. Light box, this could be a run.
Jay Hayden in the backfield here. Reno, oh, what a play! Off and racing is Jay Taylor. He's got Iverson Gamble to beat and will do so down inside the 2. What a play. Unlucky not to get 6 points attached to it.
But what a throw by Reno right here. And I love that Minnesota is just competing. They're not worried about what the regular season was. And that was a missed interception right there, timed it wrong. But the fact is, you was able to take a shot down the field, and sometimes stuff like that happens, and setting yourself up for a first and goal opportunity. Great pass.
End of the third. Put your fours up in the chat here, as we will be back with an injury update on Daniel Wright, and we'll return to action here at Fatality Field.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
There's your update on Daniel Wright. Felt that he may have been a good chance of not being able to return tonight, but he's still in question for the remainder of this game too. But Eddie Gage has been in the league for 19 seasons. You'd almost bet on him intercepting that pass, but here we are with Minnesota now on goal to go to start the fourth. Reno will throw and he's going to be sacked. Boy oh boy. The interior lineman for Arizona said thank you very much. Swallows him.
What a play right there. It's pushing them back a little bit more. In Minnesota, you want to get a score here.
We're going to go back to the ground here. Hart beats the first tackle. Can he beat the second? No. Eddie Gage did enough, and Gamble came through and collected him. But it's still third and goal. Anthony, last time they got in this situation, they threw to the outside. Couldn't complete it. What do you draw up here?
Let the running back, let Hart do what he does best. Get to the end zone.
Reno will throw, and it's caught. Touchdown. He got it. Deezer Powell will get Minnesota's opening score of the game, and it only took 4 quarters, but Reno's found the house.
We have ourselves a ball game here. That is an incredible drive. Capping off an incredible drive right here. Great anticipation on the throw. Threw the ball before Powell was in the break and was able to trust knowing that he will get there. And that's a great catch and a great touchdown for Minnesota.
Little 2-yard comeback route. That was spectacular play calling by Axel Raven and great vision by Johnny Reno. And now Minnesota say, you took our lead, we're taking it back. It's a little back and forth battle here in Arizona. Minnesota have really shown up for this, as we had expected based on the recent result in Week 13. That resulted in a 28-20 win for Arizona. The Scorpions will get the possession here. Arlovsky will return it, to the 25. And no further. And now the Scorpions will come out in a game that, well, this Minnesota defense has done a spectacular job against their rushing attack, and Ashley Jackson's success through the air has been quite sporadic. Single back is Moses. 4 wide for Jackson. Maybe starting to try and get the passing game more involved. No, Moses right-hand side. That's going to be eaten up. Minnesota's defense again is maintaining that 2-yard per carry average that Moses has had tonight. And stat line there on the bottom. Those numbers are unheard of for DJ Moses' season. Again, that 6.5 yard per carry average across the season has been squandered completely. Jackson rolls out to her right. That short pass is short across the middle. Incomplete. TJ Punk normally holds onto those. And it's batted away. Derek Meerkat with the deflection.
And what Minnesota game plan was, and you see it, was to stop DJ Moses. It was to stop him from doing all the great things that he did during the regular season right here and forcing Jackson to pass the ball. They saw that there's some type of weakness in Jackson passing the ball for further distance right here. So that's what they're forcing her to do.
Empty back set. Jackson rolls out with plenty of time. Deep look caught. What a play. Oh, Donny Hands has produced some spectacular grabs, but that was some athletic catch and picks up a huge gain downfield.
And I know that hurts for Minnesota because this is the second time where they didn't send pressure and gave Jackson enough time to look for those bigger receivers down the field. And that's exactly what she did. It was a 3-man rush. The line just had all time in the world for her to look for that. And what a way to go up their hands and get another big-time catch.
Jackson, again, dump off. That finds Moses, and that's going to pick up 3 even through the air. They've locked onto him. Donny Hands is 6'6", 225. He needed every bit of that to jump up and make that play. With some grab. Ashley Jackson's starting to find traction in this ball game. Now at 150 yards through the air on just 8 completions. That is crazy. Jackson with pressure in her face. Boy, what a catch. What a throw. Finds Will Todd. And he'd be unlucky not to be spotted past the first down marker. But gee, Ashley Jackson had about 2 defenders right around her. Was able to make the play. 3rd and very short coming up.
And right here, you want to stop. You know the run is coming. You want to stop it so you can just hold them to maybe a field goal.
Minnesota's defense has been pushed right back here, and they're going to pay the price for it because DJ Moses is just going to say, thank you very much, I'll take that yardage. That was a weird play call by Minnesota. They sent their corners all the way into a deep zone, and as a result, there was no one there at the second level.
Yeah, and everybody was playing pass, and the box was really light. It was only 5 defenders there, and Arizona was in a run offense. So that was just an easy pushback for a first down here.
Wins to Jackson's left. Jackson will have a clean pocket. Oh, what a grab. Another athletic play. That is TJ Punk, and he will be close to the first down marker.
So now you're seeing that Jackson's staying in the pocket, not trying to risk it, running it out and taking a hit right here. And the offensive line is giving her time to throw the ball right there. And that's another great catch by the tight end.
Moses, right-hand side, picks up enough for a first. Call it a gain of about 5. And Moses is just starting to find a little more traction. They go to these goal line eye sets. That seems to be what's outdoing this Minnesota defense anytime they really just lock onto the push.
And now you're seeing a quality balance because Jackson is making those great completions. Now they got to honor the pass and is leading the run wide open for Arizona.
Split backfield again, another goal line set. Jackson will pass this time. Short throw, incomplete. Had a chance to pick that off. Nicholas Frossel on the deflection. Was looking for DJ Moses, who ran a little seam up the middle, but it falls away incomplete.
And Jackson has to be careful right there. That could have been a possession killer right there with that interception. But now maybe you go back to running the ball because you've been getting a great push by the offensive line.
They're going to angle Will Todd in motion to the right. Expecting a run here for Moses. Jackson will throw. Both the backs run routes. Outside, that's caught by Will Todd. And he will be spotted. Maybe give him a couple of yards. Johnny Bravo makes sure that's not 6 points.
And what a way to just not have him get into the end zone right there. It was nice little like shielding off, pushing them out of bounds. This third down right here, I'm definitely looking at the seam routes, the slot routes right here, doing the go and trying to get the touchdown.
Got Donny Hands on the left of Jackson. That could be the hot spot. He will run that route. That's going that way, but it's incomplete. Looked like James' hands, in fact, was the intended target in the end. Minnesota, they're going to stop. And JT Jelani's going to come out and take a shot to tie it.
And it looks like Hands just dropped it right there. But that is exactly what you want from Minnesota. It's like a bend, don't break defense right there. Was able to hold them to maybe a field goal. But that is what you want to do. You want to not give up the touchdown. Now just potentially tying the game right here for Arizona.
Field goal attempt from Jelani is up and good, and that will see us tied back up again. Wildcard Weekend, presented by APM Music, continues tomorrow, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, with the Seattle Nemesis making their playoff debut against Charleston, followed by the San Diego Mavericks at DC at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss the matchups tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern on SFL YouTube. We've had a quality matchup to end the Saturday night special here to open up the wildcard weekend as Jay Taylor stiff arms a man up past the 30, and he's going to take this up close to halfway. In fact, he'll get past halfway to the opposition 45. Wow, boy, is that important.
That's the biggest return we've seen this game right here, and it came at a big time. Recognize this is a tie ball game. Was able to break the tackle and they got the outside edge. Great job with the block on the outside. And now it sets up Minnesota with great field position with the clock running in the fourth quarter.
Wow, that is huge. Gives you they're almost in field goal range already. So there you're essentially, you've got free reign to do whatever you want here if you're Minnesota. Spread receivers. Reno's going to drop back. He's got a good pocket. Good short throw. That was caught at the feet. Great catch by Deezer Powell. Give him 3.
Great catch by Powell, but if you just lead Powell to the outside, he has room to run up the field right there for more yardage. So that was really close. Like, Arizona caught a break there.
Goal line eye for Minnesota. Colin Hart's got blocking to the left, and that's going to pick up a good gain of about 6, and that means that third down is a little more comfortable. Everett Garrison finishes up the play. Do you run it again here, Anthony?
Yeah, your line did a great job so far this game right here. Just look for a tackle run, maybe to the right side.
Right on cue, and he's jammed up. What a play. Arizona took him a minute to get there, but Iverson Gamble eventually gets through the blocking and makes the stop. Interested to see if they're in field goal range here or not. And Mickey Malillo says, yes, I am. I'm going to try this 52-yarder. This would be his biggest of the night. What a moment this is in the game. Malillo, they fake it. Short throw, that's incomplete. They take a gamble, and it doesn't pay off. Gee, I wonder, did Mickey Malillo not like his chances in that situation? That was an interesting play call.
You got to get your points right there. I know you're trying to catch them off guard, but this is the fourth quarter. This is a win or go home type of situation right there. And you're giving Arizona, who just had a good drive, back with the ball with good field position right there.
A little bit of controversy sprinkled into our 9 p.m. matchup. Arizona now with possession, and with just under 4 minutes on the clock, DJ Moses can really shave some minutes off the clock here, and he'll start on the ground to the right-hand side. Is plugged for a gain of 2. That's been what we've seen a ton of today, despite the talents of this Arizona offensive line. Minnesota have really pushed up with their front 7. Go back to another Joker set. With TJ Punk alone on Jackson's right, they're going to angle Justin Williams in motion. Moses will get the carry, and again, there's no blocking there. Tackle made by Derek Meerkat and Stephen Black.
And I want to bring this up that led to the questionable fourth down play. 55, DD Sachs was able to push the tackle to the running back there that caused that fourth down. That was a key play that nobody really paid attention to that caused this situation right here.
Jackson, short throw, that's caught. And James Hands as a first down. That's a great call, actually. DD Sachs has a sack already tonight, and that was a crucial fourth down stop. Or third down stop, I should say. And Arizona now driving downfield. That was a tight window that Jackson threw that into.
Yeah, so now Minnesota got to recognize the clock, the time. Because Arizona can run. They only need about 10 more yards to get into your kicker range that's kicking 100% for the season. And they control the clock right now.
Handoff Moses. That's a good gain. Picks up 5. You saw that stat earlier. Arizona have played this game very much between the numbers. 127 passing yards for Ashley Jackson down the middle. Has not looked to the outside much at all tonight.
Yeah, and Minnesota needs to stop here by their linebackers who's been shooting the gap really well right here. You want to keep them out of field goal range.
Play will be called before the 2-minute warning. Moses first down. Great carry. What a play by DJ Moses. Parts the Red Sea. And that could be crucial leading into the back end of this game.
And great vision to cut it back up the field, recognizing that every offensive lineman had a hat-on-hat situation, meaning that everybody had somebody to block. Moses found a great hole inside, cut it back in for a big first down, and now the clock running. Minnesota got 3 timeouts. Arizona has the control of the game.
Final 2 minutes in this wild card contest. Score is tied. Arizona driving to take the lead over Minnesota at Fatality Field. Handoff to Moses is stifled at the line by Minnesota. A tackle on interior lineman Stephen Black gets the stop.
And now for Arizona, you want to keep the ball towards the middle. That's more of the favorite spot of the kicker to kick the ball at. But you got to be careful. Minnesota has to send some pressure here. It's very important to get the ball quickly out of Ashley's hands.
Jackson is going to roll out. She's going to try it herself and again takes contact. Tried to keep her feet, but is tackled at the line of scrimmage. And we've said this seemingly ad nauseum. She has not been afraid at all to take contact from some of these Minnesota defenders.
Just got to be careful here because you don't want to take a hit that you don't need to. And Minnesota letting the clock run. If whatever happens on this play, you have to stop the clock.
4 wide on third down. This could be the play of the game here. Jackson drops back. She's going to roll out. Got space. Passes into the end zone. What a play! Touchdown, Donnie Hands. It's his second. And that could be a game winner.
I love the trust in your wide receivers here. Recognize that Donnie Hands dropped the touchdown on the last drive. Was able to call his number again. Beautiful throw by Jackson right there. And what a catch by Donnie Hands right there. Big score. And that could be a game-sealing touchdown.
Unbelievable. Donnie Hands now with 100 receiving yards on the night. That well eclipses 7,000 for his career. Arizona take a lead with just over a minute left on the clock. That extra point from JT Jelani is up and through. I want to give credit as well to Ryan Arlovsky, who was in the area as well, who didn't spoil the pass. He was rushing across as that pass was delivered into the pocket to Donnie Hands, and it was able to find the man. And now Minnesota must reply with a little over a minute left to keep their postseason alive. Taylor up past the 20 and looks to get to the 30. He will. So they need 70 yards, and a touchdown is now the only option for this Minnesota offense.
In Minnesota, you know that you can drive the ball. You know that you can score on them. Now you have to put aside what happened the last drive where it was a questionable call and realize that this is for the season. Right here, you got to put everything in here. You got 61 seconds. You got 3 timeouts. you really need to be mindful of your clock management because you got to get in the end zone.
4 wide, they need something from the likes of Vin Callier or Jay Taylor, Deezer Powell, all very experienced players. Jason France only has 2 catches in the game as well. Hart moved in motion. Reno's going to catch. That's well played. And Minnesota will call their first timeout. Here we go. Up pass now. Reno up at 200 yards, but none of this matters now. Another aggressive passing set. Empty backfield for Reno. Going to pull Taylor in motion. Watch out for that right-hand side of the field for Reno. Goes across the middle. That's caught right on cue. Jason France with a first down catch.
So Minnesota, take advantage of what Arizona is playing back. They're giving everything in front of you. So I know you got some good yardage here. You got 1 timeout. You got to start looking to throw outside the numbers here because you need to stop the clock on every play.
Same look for Reno. Branch with that last grab. Excuse me. Reno back on the pocket. Looks caught. First down. Vin Callier with a huge gain. And now they're inside the 15. Final timeout called by Minnesota.
That's a good throw right there. Now you got to realize that time is not on your side right here. Be mindful of where you throw the ball. You want to throw the ball on the outside. If not, you got to hurry up to the line.
15 to go. He's a Powell in motion. He caught the first pass of this drive. Reno, he's going to take a shot. Oh, caught. Deezer Powell. What a play. 35 left on the ticker. They've got a first down. Plenty of time here left to execute for Reno. And he spikes it. 30 left. What a feed by Johnny Reno.
And it's just been absolute dot after dot after dot this drive right here by Reno. And now you have time. You have a time to run the ball 1 time if you want to. But right now you need to look for your targets. Look for your tight end right here. Arizona, send a little pressure if you need to.
Look for the tight end. He's in the backfield here in that fullback spot we've seen him in. He's going to be used in pass pro. Reno, end zone. Oh, Eddie Gage. That was in his vicinity, and it's the second time that he's been unable to reel in a pick. And he'll be frustrated not to come away with that.
And let's hope that's not going to backfire on them, because that right there would have ended the game. You didn't have to do anything else. That would have ended the game here. Let's see if Minnesota responds after a potential ending game interception right here, and they can throw a game-tying potential touchdown.
We've got 2 more shots at it. 4 wide. Hart in the backfield. You could well run the ball here if you wanted to. Arizona playing off. Reno. End zone. That's incomplete. Crucial tip by Parker Thomas at the back of the end zone, and they've got 1 more shot at it.
And once again, another opportunity. Didn't see that defender come off the receiver in that zone coverage. Once again, that could have ended the game here. Minnesota is getting so many lives at them. Last play for the season. Can they potentially tie it up?
This is it. It all rests on this play. Reno. Sure, it's picked off. That's the game. Arizona's going to get a win, and Everett Garrison will have the last laugh.
Look, you can have, that's 3 opportunities in a row. Arizona said, we are not going to. And what a way, put some flash on it right there. One-handed grab. If he did not get that hand up in there, that was going to be a touchdown because there was nobody behind him. That's a fantastic play to seal the game for Arizona. But you know what? Great job by Minnesota taking it to the final seconds of this game.
What an incredible contest It was promised after that Week 13 affair was played really closely by Minnesota. They seemingly improved on that performance but haven't been able to come away with the win. Arizona is going to book their ticket for a rematch from last season's championship against Baltimore next weekend. Full time in Fatality Field, a dramatic final 2 minutes as Minnesota drove down the field, but Arizona's defense holds firm, and the money man Everett Garrison gets the game-winning pick, and the Scorpions will move on to the semifinals.
And I just want to say, Minnesota, hang your heads up high. You played a fantastic game. You recognize that you were the underdogs, and the fact that you gave Arizona everything you had right here, and what a game.
Absolutely, the leadership on the likes of Johnny Reno, Axel Raven, BJ Loveless and company did a fantastic job to keep this team on good pace. And the story tonight, DJ Moses was held to 2.5 yards per carry on 25 attempts, but that was not enough. The execution from Ashley Jackson to find Donnie Hands, not once, but twice, was the absolute difference maker. And also mention those 2 turnovers. The first from Parker Thomas at the start of the game, and the game winner from Everett Garrison. Your final at Fatality Field in Phoenix, Arizona. 23-point victory, or 23-16 victory for the Arizona Scorpions. Thank you to Ron Haynes and Zach Hamburger on stats with us tonight, Anthony Nelson and Jacob Clear on the call tonight. We will see you tomorrow, Charleston and Seattle and DC, San Diego, to finish off Wildcard Weekend. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you tomorrow.